especially for my 2 babies, you know, like I don't want to lose them.
She's a mother of 2 with 1 on the way, and now she's being evicted in the middle of a pandemic. What she's saying and how the property manager is responding.
Plus, a growing number of grocery stores are setting aside time for seniors and at-risk shoppers to get their groceries before the crowds arrive. We'll tell you which ones.
Sunshine and another day in the 50s. How many days can we keep this going? I'll have the answer in my forecast.
Breaking news tonight, the 44th running of Bloomsday has been postponed. That announcement came late tonight. The organization citing ongoing concerns about the coronavirus outbreak.
Instead of running the race in May, it will now take place on September 20th. If you've already registered for this year's race, don't worry. The organization says your registration will be carried over to the new date. We'll have much more information on our website, KREM.com.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Regina On. Thanks for being with us tonight. There are now 4 confirmed cases of coronavirus here in Spokane County. That is 1 more positive than yesterday. And in Washington State, there are 1,012 cases and 52 deaths in total. These numbers are from the Washington Health Department. And over the state line, there are now 8 confirmed cases in Idaho. They're all in Ada, Blaine, and Madison counties. Right now, there are no confirmed cases in North Idaho. And Governor Jay Inslee today signing 5 bills today, including a measure allocating $200 million in emergency funding. $175 million will be for state and local response, and the remaining $25 million federal dollars will be for helping businesses deal with the fallout. That $25 million will also go toward unemployment. And if you're wondering if you have worked at least part-time over the last year, you will likely qualify for Washington State unemployment benefits. Other ways the governor says he wants to use that money for is virus testing, emergency costs for the Department of Health, local and tribal health groups, social distancing projects for the homeless community, and alternative physical locations for extra beds and room for those with the coronavirus. At this time, he says he is talking with the Department of Defense as well for additional help.
There's been a lot that has happened to date. What we're doing right now is looking at the epidemiological evidence to determine what next step might be able to be worth the economic dislocation to families that will occur if we went that route.
Inslee is talking about possibly getting help from retired physicians and nurses. He says they'll need as much help as he can get. And Inslee says although the shelter in place isn't mandatory at this point, it could be in the near future. He says it's an hour-by-hour decision-making process. Well, throughout the West Valley School District, we saw some people standing outside with school lunches and breakfast to put some smiles on a few of these students' faces. These grab-and-go meals are now available from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. As the district works through these difficult times, they continue to prioritize the health and well-being of their students.
It's a priority for us in West Valley to make sure that our children get the food that they need for their breakfast and their lunch and continue that for their safety and their nutrition.
And each student received their lunch for the day and breakfast for the following morning as well. Students don't have to attend the school in the district to receive a meal, which will help families as the amount of students expected to show up will likely rise moving forward.
These places should be willing to work with families, and they're just not.
A local mom who's expecting her 3rd child is looking for a new place to live tonight in the middle of a pandemic. This after being evicted from her apartment today. The eviction comes as cities across the country are taking steps to stop evictions right now. KREM 2's Casey Decker spoke with the woman and the organization that owns the apartment.
Well, this was the apartment where a pregnant mother and her 2 young children lived. Now, as you can see, it's empty. And in the midst of a pandemic, the family is not sure where they'll go.
For roughly a year, Kayla Jo Chapman Davis lived at Walnut Corners. Today, she was evicted.
And it's a scary, scary situation. It's very scary.
The complex is run by Spokane Urban Ministries, a religious nonprofit. Citing a variety of lease violations, they began the eviction process in January.
We were in eviction proceedings for non-payment of rent and for conduct issues.
In court, they reached an agreement. She'd pay a certain amount and move out by the end of March. Management says she didn't pay that on time, so eviction was accelerated.
Well, this morning I woke up with a sheriff at my door telling me that I needed to leave. It was so bad I had to wake up my 2 younger children who were in bed in pull-ups at the time.
It was a traumatic morning.
They wouldn't let me grab diapers, cups, their blankets, clothes, their shoes, anything. I literally had to grab what I could see and get them dressed in the hallway. I need you to set these boxes up, love. There's tape.
Later, they were allowed in to rapidly unpack the apartment with help from some friends and family.
Jane, toss me those wipes.
But now, in the midst of a pandemic that's shutting down entire cities, Kayla Jo says she has no clue where she and her kids will go.
I don't know. I really, really don't, and that's what's scary, and especially for my two babies, you know, like, I don't want to lose them, like, they're my world, and that's what's really scary, because you never know what's going to happen next.
The nonprofit's board president says they've tried their best not to evict anybody and worked with Kayla Jo to prevent this.
We bend over backwards for a lot of tenants.
Kayla Jo says management was hostile and inflexible.
These places should be willing to work with families, and they're just not.
It's a complicated scenario.
The nonprofit says right now they're just going by the rules.
When people don't follow through with their agreements, we have other people waiting for apartments.
But scenarios like this are exactly why some city leaders want to change those rules. Sheriff Ozzie Knezovich and City Council member Kate Burke, rarely on the same side of an issue, have both said they're looking into a moratorium on evictions during coronavirus.
We've been told to stay safe, stay enclosed, stay social distance from each other, and how are you supposed to do that if you're not in a home?
She argues right now it's not just a justice issue, but a public health one as well. Evictions could overload an already struggling shelter system and worsen the spread of the disease.
Our community at large is really going to be hit hard if we start evicting people and don't do anything about it.
Burke hopes to have an ordinance on the table by Thursday. Council President Brian Begg says he's hopeful something will happen by Monday. And staff for Governor Jay Inslee and Mayor Nadine Woodward both say those offices are also in conversations, but neither has taken direct action so far. Meanwhile, Kayla Jo's kids are with family as Kayla Jo tries to figure out what's next. In West Central Spokane, Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.
Okay, turning to breaking news now. The city of Colfax is without power right now as firefighters have been fighting tonight a big fire in the downtown area.
Yeah, take a look at this video and then the pictures posted on the Whitman County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. Again, they say the entire city without power tonight and traffic right now is being detoured.
All right, let's take a look at weather. Now the snow has slowed down a bit in Spokane and it looks like temperatures are kind of back on the rise.
It was a lot nicer today now, wasn't it? Meteorologist Michelle Boss joining us now. And Michelle, at least it's been nice enough to get outside during all these social distancing initiatives.
Yeah, we did it again today. I wasn't sure we'd quite hit 50, and we did even better than that and hit 52 degrees in Spokane. Of course, the mornings are still chilly. We're going to see that pattern continue through this week. We do have some high clouds moving in across the state, but generally dry weather expected for most of the inland northwest. The slight exception will be far southeastern Washington, Lewiston, and then in the southern panhandle, Grangeville. Slight chance to see some showers overnight and tomorrow afternoon. The rest of us should be dry. Temperatures once again dipping down to the upper 20s and lower 30s, but plenty of sunshine to start your day tomorrow, and mostly sunny skies expected tomorrow afternoon with a high of 50. We'll warm it up a little bit more on Thursday, 51, and mostly sunny on Friday with highs in the lower 50s.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much. Meantime, local grocery stores in Spokane are offering modified hours to address coronavirus concerns. On Tuesday and Thursday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., Safeway and Albertson stores will hold reserved hours for at-risk populations, including senior citizens, pregnant women, and people with compromised immune systems. The Target on the South Hill will also hold a reserved shopping hour from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. for those same populations. Also, a good time to remind you, authorities and public health officials ask that you not hoard groceries or other supplies like toilet paper. And a lot of you have reached out to us asking what's happening to casinos amid the pandemic. Well, so far we know the entire Northern Quest Casino and Resort Complex will be closed for at least 2 weeks. Northern Quest has said they will pay employees during this downtime. The Kalispell Casino, Golf and Country Club and the Fatburger 5 Mile are also closed. The Kalispell Tribe of Indians says this is how they are supporting the community. Meantime, the Coeur d'Alene Casino is still open. They have 35 hand sanitation stations, along with an advanced air filtration system, they say, to make sure the air is properly purified. The casino is also wiping down doors, handles, and all gaming machines. The property will be closed from 3 to 7 a.m. daily for deep cleaning.
Hotels are also seeing an impact from the virus. The Davenport hotels say they will close 4 out of their 5 hotels. The Davenport Grand will still operate, but all restaurants, spa, fitness centers, and pools are closed to comply with Governor Inslee's emergency proclamation. Well, Airway Heights is getting a wellness clinic. The city is working with a mobile urgent care service to provide medical screening for people who live in the West Plains. The standalone clinic will be located at the former community center. That address is there on your screen. If you or a loved one is experiencing flu-like symptoms, you're encouraged to get evaluated. They will also be providing on-site flu testing. The clinic opens tomorrow from 9 a.m. until 3 in the afternoon. If you're planning on visiting, make sure to bring your ID and medical insurance card. WSU Doctor of Nursing Practice program ranks among the top 25 programs in the nation, according to the newest ranking from U.S. News and World Report. A DNP degree is a clinical doctorate as opposed to the research-focused PhD and is designed to prepare students for careers as a nurse practitioner. The WSU College of Nursing launched its DNP program in 2012. Program director Ann Mason says on the ranking, quote, "This ranking is a validation of our work over the past decade and that WSU is responding to the needs of our communities in producing healthcare professionals."
And so what we've decided to do is partner up with our local food bank in Seattle, Seattle Food Lifeline, and we're going to donate 1 million meals to hopefully make a difference.
Russell Wilson and Sierra say they are donating 1 million meals to the Seattle area through a local nonprofit organization. The Seahawks star has also done philanthropy work with organizations like the Make-A-Wish Foundation and Autism Speaks. In a social media post, the couple urged people to, quote, "keep the faith during this difficult time." Go Russell Wilson if you need one more reason to like him, Regina.
That's a great message, and I love Sierra, so go you.
Yeah, shout out to both of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, just as the coronavirus outbreak is affecting you and your family, it's also affecting us here at KREM too.
While we give you the latest information on TV and online, we have a lot of people behind the scenes working to make sure we can stay on the air. They actually built a temporary backup studio and workspace so we can continue delivering the news if coronavirus impacted our building or our studio. Most of our reporters and photographers are working from home right now. They're taking extra steps to clean their equipment. They're using Skype or FaceTime to interview people more often.
That includes weather as well. Evan Narani sent up this picture after he set up a weather segment from home this morning. We are certainly in unprecedented times. Our goal is to keep our newsroom healthy so we can bring you the information that you need. And so we are taking precautions to keep our journalists as safe as possible so that your access to information remains immediate, vetted, and trustworthy.
And to read KREM 2's open letter to the community, text the word TEAM to 448-2000. You'll see some of the behind the scenes as we all go through this process together. And as we stand 6 feet apart as well.
Yeah, maybe potentially 7 probably.
Is it 7?
Yeah, I think 7 feet I'm going with.
Well, still ahead here. The snow is melting outside as warm temperatures return to Spokane following last week's storm. Our Michelle Boss has your full forecast coming up after the break.